Hello, this is John with Third Gen Amusement. I just wanted to do a quick overview of Bally 5500 and 6000 slot machines. The Bally 5500 and 6000s are very bulletproof machines. They're very solid, dependable, reliable. They're just good overall machines. There is some real popular titles like this one that people really enjoy. As far as the differences between a 5500 and 6000, the most visual difference that you can tell would be where the bill validator is located. So as you can see, it's just to the right of the reels here. A 6000, if it's got a bill validator, the bill validator would be kind of built in to here. This would be over here further, probably between the two buttons here. So that's kind of the main visual differences you can tell between the two slot machines. Again, this one's a 5500, so the button layout and everything would be relatively the same between the two models. You got a service switch, turns on the light on the top. That would signify to the casino that you'd need a drink or change, or you need some assistance of sorts. You got your cash out, so when you hit the cash out button, if it's a coin in, coin out like this one is, it'll dispense your winnings down here in coins. A lot of 6000s will have a printer in them. The printer would be just above here, actually, where the bill validator is on this one, and it would print a ticket, like a vanity ticket, or it would have to have Tito in it if it's got a printer in it that works. So Tito is ticket in, ticket out. It's pretty neat, but anyways, so that's that. If it doesn't have a printer or a hopper, then you've got what's called a attendant key or a jackpot key. So what people do is after you hit the cash out button, you'd come over here, turn this one time, and that cashes out the machine and returns it back to gameplay. The only other reason why you'd use this attendant key here is if you happen to hit some of the big number payouts. Usually the machine will say on it somewhere that it'll only pay up to a certain amount, like this one's up to 1,000 coins. So let's say you hit you got lucky on one coin and you hit the double jackpot, and you hit the 2,000. It will pay out the 1,000 in coins, and then it'll hand pay after that. So that's what that's for. Then really the rest of it is very similar to the traditional slot machine of most brands. You got a bet one, spin, max bet, and then some will have a pull handle on them to spin the reels. In order to use the pull handle, you have to use the bet one credit and then bet 1, 2, or 3 in this case of this machine in order to pull the handle and spin the reels. Let's see here. So to open the front door, you'll want to turn the key, and then you got a little latch right here. So on that latch, you want to pull up and then out on the door. That'll allow you to open the door. And this gets you access into the machine, the reels, that kind of thing. Your bill validator on this is right here. It's not really serviceable in this position. So the 6000 bill validator would be right here, and you could go ahead and just pull it out if you needed to with the power off, of course. You'd have your cash can over here, and then on this model, in order to retrieve the bills, you just use the key, open this door, and the money's laying in there, the bills. I've modified this slot machine to where it doesn't use the cash cassette because it's a pain in the butt. The Bally 5500s, the casino had a special tool to insert in there to then pull the cash box out. So it's a pain to grab your 20 that you run through the machine to get it to play. So I've modified it to where the bills just drop down into here. So that's that. Otherwise, the inside of the machine is pretty much the same between a 5500 and 6000. 6000 may have pro sound in it. Some of the newer ones before they moved up to the next model would have pro sound, which is a board that'd be right here, be mounted kind of the left of the first reel there. This is the MPU right here. And I want to stress, you don't really want to pull you don't want to remove the board or disconnect anything, do anything with the power on. So, and on this machine, the power switch is over here. So we'd want to turn that off. As far as the other buttons on the MPU, you can see you got test, coin mech, pseudo coin, and reset. Those really don't do a whole lot for us. So the only one I'm going to pay attention to is this coin mech. That coin mech has a toggle switch on it. You want that up. If it's down, you won't be able to play. You won't be able to insert bills or coins. It kind of turns the coin stuff off. So the hopper here, you can kind of see now. A lot of your 5500s will have this style of a hopper, and there's actually two different spinning devices that spin the coins on this particular hopper. It's quite a bit wider than a 6000 hopper. 6000 hopper would only be about to here back. It wouldn't have this big bucket. The reason is because you can see there's another motor right here, and that motor actually spins a drum. It's almost like a cement mixer, and what it does is it stirs up the coins that's down in there. So it'll dispense the coins that's down in this recessed area, and then pretty soon it won't be able to pay out again. So if the machine will fire this motor to turn that cement mixer drum, and it actually pushes coins down into the main what they'd call the pinwheel and the shelf wheel. So that's how the coins get rotated up and out. So you can see you got a couple buttons here. I don't normally recommend anybody play with these, but you got two push buttons here, followed by a bunch of LED lights there. This button here, you'll see it spins to dispense coins. This button here actually goes backwards. And so you don't want to do that very far, because you can end up breaking your knife. Your knife is right on the top of the shelf wheel, they call it. That's what, like this coin, when it gets dispensed, would ride out through here. So you don't want to do that. On your front door, you've got a coin comparator. And basically whatever coin's in this coin comparator is what the machine is going to accept. So as you can see, you can slide to replace coin, the sticker on there. You slide this assembly that way, and it'll release that coin in there, and then you can put another coin in there. Now, it's easy to do. This one's set up for token play. I'm going to get ready to set it up for quarter play here in a little bit, but this one's set up for token play. So what you can do is you can actually slide this out, put a quarter in there, and let it slide back. It's spring loaded, and you got a quarter machine. So I would caution you not to put nickels, dimes, half dollars in there, because you have to stay relative to the denomination of the machine. That's how the hopper is set up. So you have to change the pinwheel and shelf wheel, and possibly a few other things if you change the overall denomination of the machine. So that is that. So this was the coin comparator. This is the coin optics. So the two work in conjunction with one another to see if you're running a slug through, or if it's actually the coin that it's supposed to be taking. As you can see on this, there's nothing really serviceable on this. But as you can see right here, there's SW1. And what you can do is press that button. Oh, let's see here. Oh, that's right. We got an error when it ended up when I was cycling the coins through the hopper. That brings up this cherry switch. Okay, so that is a difference between a 6000 and a 5500. 5500s typically will have this cherry switch here. It's a two-position switch. So you got out is the machine thinks the door is closed, but you can service it and watch the machine play if you're doing troubleshooting, that kind of thing. And then there's a neutral where you just press it in and it stops. That'd be the door is open, and then when you shut the door, it actually pushes that cherry switch as far in as it'll go, and then that's indicating to the machine that the machine's in play. It's like it's in the casino. So I was going to show you. I'm going to go ahead and push that in, and as you see, I pushed it in neutral, and the bill validator light and stuff went out. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to press that SW1 button. You can do it up to 3 times because this one's actually a 3 coin machine. So that allows you to pull the handle. You can use the buttons on the front door, and it'll pay and play just like the machine is the door shut and you've inserted bills. So this is kind of a test mode, so to speak, to see kind of where, if the machine's working or not. If for some reason you get coins caught up in here, between here and the coin head here, when you drop a coin in on the door, that's the first place it goes, is right down in this area, and it gets caught up. You've got these little flaps right here. Let's see here. You can kind of see it's got a little groove. It goes around that round screw that sticks out. You want to lift up on both of them. You got one on either side of the coin mech. This will rotate out, and then you got to kind of pick up on it because you've got 2 more of those round screws here. So that's how that works. You got to be really careful pulling it out because you still are jacked in. And I'll reiterate, you don't want to disconnect anything in this machine or any slot machine with the power on. So let's see here. I think that about does that. So as far as the hopper goes, should you ever have to take the hopper out? Shouldn't really have to, because let's say you run empty, you hit a big one, and it spit out a bunch of quarters or coins. You know, you can take this and then just throw it in there, and the machine will accept them that way, or that's how you'd reload the machine. But if for some reason you'd have to, you can take this coin tray, and you can kind of lift up on it. It's hard to do with one hand. They are kind of heavy, actually. You kind of lift up and pull towards you, and as you can see, it comes out. You've got those black things there. Let's see, yeah, and that actually drops down into here. So that's what that's for. That's how it attaches. The back side of the coin tray actually goes down into that groove as well. So the hopper, the hopper you can pull out with under power. It's no problem. It'll give you an error, but it's not a problem with the machine. But as you can see, I can't pull it. And so what you got to do is you got to lift up a little bit and then pull it towards you, and then it comes out real easy. And as you just heard, it just did an error code. No biggie. So I'm going to push it back in there, and that's all you got to do to pull it in, pull it out. And then you got to kind of line up those black things with those grooves, and you can see the little hooks here kind of hook into that portion there on the cabinet. So, all right. So then all we got to do is shut the door. You got to make sure to lift up this latch, shut the door, and then that latch has to be all the way down in that trough, and that machine will reset. All right, so we've got the coin mech is lit, and it says insert money. You got the insert money or insert coin light flashing there. So we can go ahead and feed in a 5. The typical the 5500 will do a 1 through 50 new bills. 6000 will typically do all new and old bills. So see if we get lucky. Okay, so I'm gonna hit the bet 1 and then pull the handle. Oh! All right, so we got 14 coins, and boy, I'm gonna cash out here while I'm kind of behind, but anyways, that's how that goes. So I'm gonna hit the cash out button, and then the machine will pay out coins. What it would do if I didn't have enough coins in there, it would actually error out, and you'll hear the bleep, and this light will go off. It won't be responsive. That's when you got to open up the door, take the coins out from the coin tray, put them in the hopper, and then once you close that door, it'll have a number up here from 5 to 0. It'll count down from 5 to 0. Once it hits that 0, it's going to try and pay out again. So that's how that works. I think that's pretty much it on this machine. So if you have any questions, you can always shoot me a message and we'll go from there. Thank you so much.